70% of executives spend their day reacting. Emails, Slack, meetings. The result isn't burnout, it's worse. Authority erodes silently. Today I'll show you a 3-layer Stoic ritual that reclaims control without confrontation. And we'll follow one person through it, meet Anna. Most leaders aren't failing because they make bad decisions. They're failing because they're always available. Every message answered immediately. Every meeting accepted without resistance. Every request treated as urgent. Each one chips away at authority, quietly, invisibly. The dangerous part isn't overload, it's normalization. Leadership weakens long before anyone notices. By the time the symptoms appear, hesitation, indecision, fatigue, the damage is already structural. Research consistently shows executives spend over 70% of their working hours reacting to others' needs. The cost is not just time, it's fragmented attention, slower decisions, and leadership that exists more for others than for itself. Availability becomes an invisible trap. Influence erodes before failure ever appears. The invisible trap of availability, meet Anna. She's 28, a middle manager at a fast-growing tech company. Smart, capable, reliable. She wakes up at 5 a.m. and checks Slack before getting out of bed. By 10 a.m., she's already answered emails that could have waited until the afternoon. By 2 p.m., she's sitting in a meeting that begins with a question she answered yesterday. At first glance, this looks like dedication. What it actually creates is exposure. Her day isn't full, it's fragmented. Every interaction demands explanation, reassurance, or emotional calibration. By 9 p.m., she's exhausted, yet nothing meaningful has moved forward. Her calendar is packed. Her priorities are untouched. Her energy is gone. Nothing collapses, nothing breaks. Authority simply thins out. Anna isn't lazy, she isn't incompetent, she is overexposed. And overexposure is one of the fastest ways leadership loses shape. That constant availability, it's creating decision friction that slows you 30%. Insight number 1 will reverse this. Decision friction is the mental cost of navigating constant social pressure. Every reaction you provide creates a chain of obligations. Every explanation invites feedback. Every justification opens negotiation. These chains don't feel heavy at first. They accumulate quietly. Research from the Journal of Experimental Psychology shows people under continuous social demand experience decision latency. They hesitate, second guess, and slow down by up to 30%. Harvard Business Review reports that leaders who are constantly accessible lose strategic clarity. Their attention is borrowed, fragmented, and taxed. Borrowed attention is never neutral. It always comes with expectations. What Anna feels isn't weakness, it's entanglement. Failure is visible. Entanglement is silent. Before solutions accept one uncomfortable truth: availability equals power loss. Here are 4 levers that quietly decide authority. 4 key insights. 1. Availability is authority leverage. Every time you respond immediately, you send a quiet signal that your time is always open for access. Social systems unconsciously reward predictability. Leaders who are constantly available become easy to manage, not because they lack authority, but because their patterns are reliable. Slowly, their schedule stops belonging to them and starts belonging to whoever demands attention first. Predictability feels polite. Structurally, it is expensive. Anna answers her team's questions the moment they appear. In the beginning, it looks like support. Over time, dependence forms. Questions stop being filtered or thought through. Everything funnels directly to her, not because it must, but because it can. As a result, strategic priorities begin to slip. Her days fill with reactions instead of decisions. What started as helpful leadership quietly turns into substitution. Authority thins out, and leadership shifts from direction to maintenance. Do you feel like all those constant reactions are stealing your tempo and clarity? Layer 1 of the next insight takes them both back instantly. 2. Boundary design, access ladder system. Most people think boundaries fail because leaders don't enforce them. That's wrong. Boundaries fail because they're emotional instead of structural. Boundary design replaces saying no with designing access. This is the access ladder. Not all access is equal. Tier 1, immediate access. Emergencies, irreversible risks. Tier 2, scheduled access. Decisions, reviews, approvals. Tier 3, asynchronous access. Updates, questions, information. Anna stops treating every message the same. Slack messages no longer interrupt thinking. Meetings require purpose. Emails move to delayed review. She doesn't argue. She doesn't explain. Access now follows structure, not urgency. People don't feel rejected. They feel oriented. Structure removes friction. Clarity replaces negotiation. 3. Decision architecture. 3 decision categories. Most hesitation isn't indecision. It's category confusion. Anna redesigns how decisions are processed using 3 categories. Immediate decisions, irreversible, high risk, time-sensitive. Delayed decisions, important but not urgent. Delegated decisions, reversible or informational. Once categorized, emotion exits the room. No mental bargaining, no emotional pre-negotiation. Anna delays what can wait, delegates what can be reversed, acts immediately only when necessary. Speed doesn't come from confidence, it comes from architecture. 4. Scarcity creates authority. Constant presence erodes perceived value. Presence without structure becomes background noise. Scarcity signals control. Anna schedules uninterrupted work blocks. No meetings, no notifications, no exceptions. At first, people test the boundary, then they adjust. Requests become clearer, meetings become shorter, engagement carries weight. The hierarchy didn't change. Access did. Leverage is quiet. That's why it works. If you remember one thing from this video, make it this: the Stoic 3-layer ritual. The Stoic 3-layer ritual. This framework is adapted from Stoic philosophy and modern cognitive research. It restores control over attention, emotion, and tempo. Notice what's missing. Confrontation. Layer 1, response control. Rule: respond only when strategically clean, not emotionally triggered. Routine: 2 90-minute reactive windows per day. Effect: restores tempo. Reactions stop dictating rhythm. Tempo regained is authority restored. Urgency loses its power when timing is yours. Layer 2, information discipline. Rule: stop narrating reasoning. Routine: communicate outcomes, not process effect. Reduces entitlement, restores mystery. When leaders over-explain, they invite interference. Visual cue: lock icon over messages arrow. Information equals power. Mystery creates caution. Layer 3, emotional containment rule. Do not process emotion publicly. Routine: 10 minutes of private daily reflection. Effect: prevents manipulation through guilt or urgency. Leaders who externalize emotions surrender leverage. Clarity is the signal people follow. If this framework is changing how you see your calendar, subscribe now. This channel is about less noise, more control. Optional daily micro-exercise. 5 minutes of silence before communication. Identify 1 to 2 interactions to delay. Log anticipated emotional friction. This trains restraint, not avoidance. Compounding is where quiet power forms. Let's test this in reality. Back to Anna, but with new rules. Anna returns to work. She checks messages. She doesn't reply immediately. A colleague escalates. She pauses, observes, responds cleanly. No confrontation, no explanation. Yet clarity returns. Meetings shorten, decisions accelerate, energy is preserved, influence shifts silently. Silence did what explanation never could. Authority isn't earned through engagement, it's built through controlled distance. Approval fades, structure remains. Click now on the groupthink video to see how silent conformity destroys boardroom decisions. Subscribe for fewer meetings, more control, and ask yourself, how much of your day is truly yours? Because authority always answers that question first.